I'm Asia.
I'm Christina.
And this is a space where we share real stories
from tender hearts
and have brave conversations.
This is the Humble and Honest Podcast.
Welcome back
to the Humble and Honest Podcast.
All right, Christina, before we dive in, how's your heart today?
My heart today? Honestly, my heart today is flustered, but it's fulfilled actually. Yeah, I had a good day at work with one of my kiddos. It was actually pretty sad. He graduated.
Oh, it's happy but sad.
So that's fulfilling, but it does feel a bit
good.
Flustered and heavy.
Yeah, that's good for you though, right? Because he graduated.
What about you?
Today was very overwhelming. My cousin flew in from the Bay, had to take care of her. But overall, I feel like my heart itself is happy. I'm just overwhelmed, but in my business of life, it's busy is good. Mm-hmm. So I'm blessed. I'm grateful. But yeah, since we both are talking about how our day went and we both brought up work.
Oh yeah. Work.
That is the topic of today's podcast and episode. Yes. So just talking about the balance between hustling and healing, what's something that you've been hustling for lately? And what's something that you've done to care for yourself at the same time?
Something that I've been hustling with lately is honestly just, I feel like with my speech therapy job, just trying to figure out how to make more, what I can do more, what schools and programs I can go to, what colleges to contact. So that's something that's been like heavy on my plate and I've been hustling for. On top of everything else that we do, you know,
literally,
we honestly, you and I, we just don't do one thing. So just hustling with that it's a lot. And something I've done to care for myself lately, I haven't been, I'm not gonna lie, like this past couple of weeks, just because like my friend's birthday came up, you know, so
you just got back from Vegas.
Yeah, I just got back from Vegas, and honestly, like I am burnt out, and I think it has to do with like hustling all the time. So when you go have fun, it just
there's no more
knocks
energy.
You out. There's zero energy at all. But usually what I do is like I just shut off the world. Yeah. You know, and just I'll sleep half of the day. Have a lazy day. Scientifically, you're supposed to have one lazy day out of the week. So I try, even though I might have like a gig here and there. But what about you, sis? What is something you've been hustling for?
Lately, I just recently started my social media agency. So just hustling for clients that way, working with smaller businesses, as well as like the behind the scenes of the podcast stuff. I feel like those are things that have taken most of my time. But to do what I do now to take care of myself, I'm back in the gym, which is,
I've been seeing that.
I know, I'm back in the gym and it feels so good. I'm finally sore today and it freaking hurts. But I mean, it's worth it. It's been helping me. Because prior to that, when I wasn't in the gym, you know, I feel like when you're not in the gym and you've been gymming all your life, you prioritize different things. Yeah. You know, and I just feel like at one point I just wasn't taking care of myself. So I feel like now that I'm back, I am prioritizing that. I'm trying to switch up my diet.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to put myself first now.
I love that. Like coming from the personal training background, you know how I'm always in the gym? Yeah. And this is the 1 week I've been slacking because Vegas killed me. Dude. It literally, like, I've been a dead body. Like, Christina is not here anymore. Right. Today's the first day I actually feel okay, and I'm going to see if I have enough time after this podcast. Got to drive an hour back home, you know, and let's see if we can work out. Yeah. So, Asia, when you look back at the past versions of yourself, what's something you wish you would have let go sooner?
Let go. Oh,
let it go. Whatever else is said.
I'm big on doing what you want when you want to do it, but I do have a hard time letting go. There's nothing that I regret, but there are many relationships I wish I left earlier. I think that's the only thing I can look back and be like, I shouldn't have stayed that long, or I shouldn't have dealt with it for that long.
Yeah.
You know, I try so hard to show people grace and empathy, and then it ends up ending the way it would have ended if I just left anyways.
Exactly.
So I think that's something when I look back, I'm like, you should have just left. But then I have to show myself grace.
Yeah, but do you feel like the reason why you should have left is because you wasted time? Or
I think that a lot of the times I don't leave. It's a childhood thing, you know, and there's no shade to my parents. My parents are the best parents I could ever ask for. But there were multiple times in my life where I'm like, my mom should have just left. You know, like it was just obviously at a young age, that's the first thing you think, you know, like, oh, just divorce him, whatever.
It's not that simple, you know?
It's not that simple, especially when you're married. But I know that I have a hard time leaving relationships because my dad always got better, you know, like my dad is amazing.
Yeah.
So now that I'm in a relationship or in relationships and like navigating adult relationships.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a big difference between your little high school sweetheart and like now that we're dating. Like,
yeah.
Times now. But honestly, I can relate to you in that sense with the parents, because the same thing with my parents. I love my parents and everything, but my mom did put up with a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And she gave my dad so much grace. And seeing that, growing up with that, and like even like with my sisters have been in long-term relationships. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I need to give this man grace, because if my sisters is with this man for 10 years, my mom has put up with all these little things or big things, and they're still together, maybe I have to do it too. Yeah. So that's something that I've been trying to learn, is to let go, but I've gotten better at, and I've been trying to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, like I told you, I'm getting better at it, you know, like I will show grace for a little bit, and I'm just big on like a 3-strike rule, but I keep it at 2. Like there's no way you're getting to 3, you know, at the second one, it's just dub, like, okay, bye, you know. But this last one, it was a little more difficult because like I said, I'm getting older. Yeah. You know, and it's like you think your time is running out. You think you're only going to meet so many people and you're going to get that far with so many people. But there's just too many moving parts in my life to handle more weight. Yeah. That's not lifting me up.
Yeah, it's just slowing you down. Yeah. I feel like it's like adding, like you said, weight. Yeah. And you're just trying, right. And it's just pulling you back.
Yeah. And like my lifestyle and the way I hustle, I can't afford that.
Exactly.
You know, like it needs to either add to my peace or it needs to go. Friendships, relationships, jobs, anything.
Exactly. It has to fill into your cup. Like it can't constantly be a drain, you know? I had to set that emotional boundary too. Like I can only give you so much before I have nothing. You're slowing me down. Yeah. With me, something I would look back on my past version of myself and wish I could let go of was being a perfectionist or trying to impress others. I felt like I always had, like growing up, being in cheer, especially in high school. High school people were so mean to me. I felt like I had to be perfect, and everything I did, I had to do to impress others. Yeah. And it didn't help that, like, I didn't hang out with the best people either. Like, you know, like those low-key haters. Yeah. So I felt like that's something that I wish I would have let go sooner. And also, too, I think it has to do with being the black sheep of the family, you know? Being the youngest and, like, seeing your sisters. Yeah. No shade to my family. Yeah. But seeing your sisters, like, put on pedestals, and then there's you, the little outcast, you know? Like I said, I wasn't the prettiest or anything. So when I started getting more attractive or more cuter, I felt like I had to be perfect. Yeah. You know, and I had to do things to impress others to make up from my past. Yeah. And now I'm very content with myself, and I don't feel that way. But I do know how terrible it felt to, like, never feel good enough.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So back to, like, hustling and healing. What does the whole hustle culture mean to you, and how has it shown up in your life?
Hustle culture, I feel like it's always been there since, like, when I got my first job. Yeah. So I felt
How old were you?
How old was I? It was pretty later. It was, like, in college, because honestly, my mom held my hand. And then one day she's like, bye. And I was like,
she said, you need to learn. Yeah. Get your big girl pants on.
I was dorming at Cal Baptist. I was taking 18 units, full-time student. I saw my younger friends like at a serving job, and I was like, dang, like that's cool, they're making money, but my mom's still filling my bank account, you know? Like I was privileged.
I wish.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, mom's like, you have your own car, you need to do this, you need to pay for it on your own. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna fill up my gas tank? Or you know, it's stuff like that. So
just overnight it was like, all right, Christina,
she
run.
She gave me like a week. Okay. She applied to this job. I got the job because my cousin was a server there. Mm-hmm. So then I started working, and then next thing you know, when I moved up from like host to cocktail server, bartender, like within like 2 months, and then I got scouted by Heineken.
Oh,
and
nice.
And then I started promo modeling, so I started doing those two, and then I started private personal training, so I was doing 3 things at the same time. But hustle culture to me just means like constantly just working, moving, finding different ways to make money.
Yeah.
Or hustling to just better your mentality and yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think that the hustle culture isn't for everybody.
It's not.
It's not for everybody. You know, like, I look at my life and everyone's like, you do too much. And I'm like, dang, I feel like I don't do enough.
No, like, you don't do enough.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, well, you don't do enough.
Because, like, sometimes I think about it and people are like, oh, I'm so tired. And I'm like, yeah, me too.
Me too, but I still got to do A, B, and C.
Literally. Dude, I came home from church last night at 9. Mm-hmm. And I sat on my iPad for like 3 more hours. I was like, I have to finish this flyer. I have to finish this. And I was just going through it. But what it means to me is just no matter how many times you take an L, you find your W. Mm-hmm. You know, like to be a real hustler, I feel like you have to know how to lose everything.
Yeah.
And then gain it back.
Exactly.
You know, and it's shown up every single time. Like I built my business back home and I moved, you know, and it was like, okay, now I'm restarting. I'm starting from scratch. I worked another 9 to 5 to figure it out. And it's, I think people think the hustle culture is about work, but it's really about the part that you're figuring everything out. Yeah. Every day.
That's like how it was for personal, when I started personal training, you're literally your own self-contractor. So I had to do my own marketing, build up my own clientele. I ended up being booming, paying for my apartment, buying my car. And then like when your client like stops training, there goes $1,000 that month, and you're like, crap, let me go find another client. Exactly. Let me post, I got this slot opened up, unless you're always trying to find ways, you know, for money, or trying to find, okay, I got a gig here, I lost this client here, let me get a gig. So no, I agree.
Do you feel like your sense of worth has ever been tied to how busy or productive you are? And where do you feel that came from?
I do, because I feel like when I'm not busy, I feel like a bum. Dude. I generally, like this week, I'm not going to lie, like I have not been going to the gym, and I feel like a bum, because gym is part of like
your hustle.
My hustle. It keeps me going, you know. It gets me gigs, it gets me sponsors. Like I just got inquiries for like collabs, paid collabs and stuff like that. And if I don't post and go to the gym, I feel like a bum. Yeah. And
I feel like, you know, when you show that it's a part of your lifestyle, and then in your life that wave slows down, you're kind of like, do I lose that connection? Do I you know, like you give yourself such a hard time.
Especially when I hurt my foot and I was like in a boot. Well, I was in crutches for a month and in a boot, and I couldn't model. I couldn't do anything. Really? I felt like I was so depressed. I felt worthless. Like I was like, I'm such a bum. I'm a failure. You know.
And I feel like the gym helps your mental health.
It does 100%. The gym helps your mental health, but again, it's not a cure. So that's a big thing.
Still go to therapy.
Yeah, still go to therapy, because there's been times where I'm shredded and I look good and I'm like, dang, I'm depressed.
Yeah. you know what I feel like is like that too, is getting money.
Oh yeah. No, so
I feel like people think, oh, I need to be rich. It's not going to solve all your problems.
It's not.
You know,
money
like
does not solve everything.
Praying, therapy, those things are so important in your healing, that it's like, I feel like people think that they can distract themselves in the gym, or they can distract themselves with money.
Yeah, they're trying to fill that void within themselves, you know, with all these other little aspects, when they need to be okay within themselves and their inner healing.
And I feel like I'm the same way, you know. A lot of the times people are always like, Asia, just sit down. Just breathe. And I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
You know, not right now. Maybe in a little bit. But I have learned that I will spend quality time with people who, like you said, fill my cup, you know, so that it does feel refreshing. Yeah. And it's like, when I do feel overstimulated and I can't do that, usually I travel, you know, and like I've talked about before, I solo travel a lot. And at one point, that was my form of taking a step back, knowing that I worked hard enough and I earned it. Yeah. And I don't have to beat myself up about not doing anything. Yeah. You know, like, but I don't think that I do, but I don't. I do think that your hustle does define like your worth to an extent.
To an extent.
Because it's like, you're not about to milk off your mom the rest of your life, you know, and that's not what you did.
But it also can be toxic, I think. That's the thing. Like hustle culture, I think it could be toxic. Like it shouldn't define you and like your worth. It could define like character traits of you. Yeah. Like ambition. Yeah. You know, they're ambitious. Yeah. And things like that. But I feel like it shouldn't define people's self-worth. And I feel like with men, a lot of times it does. And then that's why men feel the need to show out and show that they're hustlers. But in reality, they probably only got like 2 streams of income or one or maybe none. But they're a hustler. But it's because... because people think that hustling, you know, determines your self-worth. Yeah. But I think it's just an aspect of like your personality.
Yeah, I agree. Have you ever felt pressured, going back to like, you know, it feeling like you're not doing anything, making you feel like you're not worth much? Do you feel pressure still to constantly be productive?
Yes. I'm not gonna lie. Yes. Yeah. Because I'm not where I want to be yet, you know, until I gotta hustle until I own my own speech therapy practice, you know? And so I still do feel like pressured and I still feel like I need to hustle, but to an extent, you know, because hustling didn't always fill my cup. It doesn't fill my cup. Yeah. My family fills my cup. My friends fill my cup. And God fills my cup. Yeah. So if I'm like putting that off to the side to hustle, then I don't. Yeah.
No, I feel that. Like I feel like for me, there's not pressure to consistently be productive, but there's pressure to get things done. Yes. In a sense, like, okay, once it's checked off the box, you know, like, okay, so I live alone, I pay my rent, right? So there's that pressure of like, I got bills, girl. Yeah. I got bills. You know?
I'm gonna eat. I the lights gonna turn on in the morning.
The shower's still gonna run. But it's like that's the pressure that I feel. But in my industry, even when I was consistently doing hair, all it really took was 2-3 clients. Yeah. Right. So after that, I feel like the pressure does come lighter. But I don't think it's like a pressure that I'm trying to prove myself. I'm just trying to pay bills, you know, like I don't want to have to rely on nobody unless it's my family. And that's just something that, like, circling back to what you were saying, I feel like men flex that they hustle hella hard. Yeah. Because they, for lack of better words, like they want to trick. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's where they feel their sense of worth. I honestly think men need to feel needed.
Oh, 100%.
You know? And so I think
when they meet women like us who feel like they don't need a man and need a man like financially and things like that. You know? We need like emotionally.
I need a man because I can't kill a spider, but it's fine. I'll learn.
Exactly.
But honestly, it's funny because on my dates and stuff, I don't ever really ask what they do for work.
Oh, I let
it come up. I let it come up on its trauma. Own.
I got PTSD.
No, for sure. But like, I don't know. I can handle my own to such a far extent that whatever you bring to the table, as long as it's morally correct, cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I agree to an extent.
I mean, of course, we all, as a woman, of course, like, you know, it'd be nice to get things off my plate. And I was just talking to my best friend about this. Like, now that I'm dating, it's cool if you pay for my coffee sometimes. Like, make my day feel a little lighter. But am I gonna hustle rent out of somebody, you know?
No.
Like, I'm not that type of
girl. Me either.
Like, that would be
nice.
When it comes
to, like, materialistic things,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, you gonna buy me a bag? Are you gonna buy me this? No, like.
You know what's hecka funny?
Uh-huh.
Bro, somebody, I forgot, I do know who it was, but
no names.
no names. But I had admitted that I've never been spoiled materially. Mm-hmm. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, you know, like I get so awkward with gift giving.
Oh, me too.
So weird. I think gifts for me have to come in acts of service.
Yeah.
You know, like flowers. I think flowers are technically a gift, but it's an act of service because you got to go get them. You got to go get them wrapped, whatever. Same with coffee. Yeah. I feel like you have
remember
to
my order.
Yeah, for sure.
You better remember my order. Just kidding.
Do you feel like you've ever sacrificed anything? Focusing too much on your hustle?
I do. Family. I feel like I've sacrificed my family and my faith, and I feel like because I have ADHD and I hyper focus on certain things and certain activities or like certain tasks or jobs. Like I hyper focus on them. And I just put my all into it. And like, I noticed I'm not praying as much. Oh. I noticed I had to skip church for a gig, you know, but I got to go hustle, you know, things like that. Or family, they're hanging out. They're doing like family time. I'm like, sorry, I have like 3 gigs I got to go to, or I have this I need to go to, or have this meeting. And I noticed I'm like, dang, like we're sitting down, we're talking. And then my family is like, oh, do you remember when this, and this happened? I'm like, when did that happen? Oh, that one time you weren't there. And I'm like, dang, I wish I was there.
Dang, those mini heart tugs.
Yeah, I'm like, oh. Or my nephews, like, I'm like, when did they get that? Yeah. Or when did they join that sport? It's because I spent those couple months hustling. Yeah. Or like bad things start happening to me. And I'm like, God's calling me back to him.
Yeah.
And it's always 100%. Something that happens to me where it's like, okay, I need to go to God. Or it's like a continuous, it's like a cycle that I pray to get out of, and I'm going through it again. I'm like, God, it's me again. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I wanted to go work for Modelo instead of going to church. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Oh my God. But yeah.
That's funny. I feel like looking back, all the times I feel like genuinely as a hairstylist, one thing I do end up sacrificing every time is eating.
Oh, yeah, you snatched.
Thanks. No, but I think because I've always learned to pick my schedule correctly. Like there's never been a day where money was more important than my niece's birthday, or nothing's ever been more important than my family. Like my family genuinely is my purpose and my reason. Yeah. And so I've never gone that direction, but I don't sleep as much, you know. I've sacrificed sleep, I've sacrificed eating, and that's like taking care of myself, you know. So I've sacrificed myself to hustle. And it's come down to like, I used to go to school at SF State, get up at 4:30, catch the BART, which is the train out there, and I'd go to school, then go to work, and then do homework for 2 hours, go to a different shift, and then do it all over again. Yeah. Like at the time, there was one semester where I was literally working 3 jobs and going to 2 different schools. Yeah. And so like I was taking classes at the community college, and then I was taking classes at the university while simultaneously working 3 jobs. I wasn't eating as much. I wasn't sleeping as much. You know, I was stuck on a train more than 10% of my day. So I think that's something that I found myself sacrificing. Yeah, for sure.
Sleep for sure. That's why I had to stop doing the nightlife. And mental health. Yeah. I was sacrificing sleep. When I sacrifice sleep, I get sleep paralysis. Really? Yeah. That's why this week too, like after the Vegas trip, I took a break because when I'm exhausted, I get sleep paralysis like almost every night in bed. Wow. Nightmares if I don't have sleep. That's why this week I was like, I'm just going to take care of myself and try not to put myself down for not going to the gym and things like that. I got to put myself first.
Yeah. So with that being said, have you ever reached a point of burnout?
Oh, yes. So in my field, speech pathology, 60% of speech pathologists suffer from burnout because it's a lot on our plate, especially working with, luckily I work in a private clinic, but especially the ones like in the medical setting, like the hospitals, like it's bad. A lot of them quit or change their job setting. But with me, I get burnt out to the point, and then I start getting brain fog. I get, a lot of people think I'm depressed, but honestly, like, I just shut down. You're overstimulated. Yeah, I shut down. And I think the last time I suffered from burnout was when I was on prep. So I was recently on prep, you know, and then I was in a relationship. I was trying to balance social life, gigs, nightlife, and speech therapy. And I was like, my mental health was so low. I was breaking out everywhere. And my hair was falling out. So that's what happens when,
I feel like burnout, for a very long time, I've done what I loved. I know my parents look at me and they're like, this girl chasing another dream. Like, okay.
I had a dream.
But even back in college, like, I was working with shoes.
Yeah.
You know, so it was cool.
You have a lot of shoes.
I do. And then now it's like I do hair. I love hair. You know, social media managing. I got into that because I found myself scrolling all the time. I'm already doing it, you know? So burnout for me, though, for sure, I think I actually get more burnt out when I'm in such bigger settings. So I feel like my burnout is overstimulation. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And I've learned a boundary of speaking on when I'm overstimulated.
You're really good at that.
Thanks. Yeah.
You are.
So I do feel like with the next one is like, personally, just recognizing when I'm not there. If I can't be present for somebody, I will say that. You know, because it's not fair. And I had just posted something on TikTok yesterday or today. I don't remember. But I'm a busy person, you know. But if I get the chance to hang out with you, you know, like, you get that time from me. Yeah. Because it's not fair for me to be like, yeah, I'll come kick it, and then I'm working, or like, you know, especially as an entrepreneur, learning how to put your phone down is key, you know, because your phone's always going to ring. Yeah. You're always going to get emails. You're always going to get text messages. Like, especially once you're growing a team, it's hard. It's difficult. But at the end of the day, you can't take your agency. You can't take your business with you when you pass. You know, it's the people who will be around you that you need to pour into. And so I'm big on that. Like, and I think that's why I get so mad when people waste my time.
Oh, I get so mad.
Girl.
Time is everything to me. Yeah. Time is money. Time costs everything to me. And it's disrespectful too. Like, I cannot stand when people like don't value your time. Yeah. They want to hang out with you, want to take you on a date, or just want to talk to you, or you know, schedule something with you. Yeah. And then they're late, or they don't even show up, or they don't even communicate, or they schedule last minute. Yeah. You know, that gets me really upset, and it's hard to get me upset because I just feel like it's very disrespectful. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I agree. Like, I don't know. For me, whenever I'm on a date or whenever I'm with my friends, for me to have to if I don't bring my iPad and I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, please respect my time.
Exactly.
I could be doing other things. There's 1,000 things on my to-do list, but I'm giving you this time, even if it's simple, you know, like a movie night.
Exactly.
Like, appreciate that I gave that to you, because at the end of the day, if this is my last experience, like, come on now, at least make it good.
Exactly.
And just being able to be around people who value you, you know, and that's why you don't see me out with hella friends. Like, if I'm out, I'm probably with you. Yeah. You know, and it's just.
Yeah, I'm very selective.
Yeah. I feel like we just both work so hard and so often that, like, if I have to look at the situation and be like, I could be on my iPad. Yeah. Then I don't want to be there.
Exactly. I want to be like, yes, I'm so glad I'm here.
Yeah. Like, yes, finally my iPad's at home, you know?
Like, refill, recharged after. But I have done that, and I stopped hanging out with those people, or just stopped saying yes to those plans, you know?
Yeah.
And
learning how to say no
is big, because I used to be Mrs. Yes girl. Yeah. I used to be like, yes, I'm down. Okay, I'll hang out. Oh, you want to hang out with me? You want to be my friend? Yes. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in a fun environment, and I want to be home, or I could have accepted this gig.
Yeah.
You know, and now I'm very selective
on
who I hang out with.
Do you believe that there's seasons of hustle and seasons of healing? And how do you know which season you're in?
I feel like either way, it's going to have to coexist, because when you hustle, you're always going to have to hustle.
Yeah.
You might have to slow it down a bit to heal, but the hustle's calling. You got to hustle. And I feel like you got to separate the two, you know? Mm-hmm. This is my work. This is this. And this is my faith. Because family's healing to me, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
And this is my inner work. And I'm going to have to put time aside and heal.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to have to coexist it, you know? Yeah. Like, they're going to have to coexist.
1,000%. I feel like, I don't think they come in seasons. I think, like you said, they happen at the same time. Mm-hmm. But during certain times, one is more of a priority. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like you said, family and faith, those are things that are always time blocks in my calendar. You know, whether I will set out the year and be like, between these days of my niece's birthday, I'm going home. Yeah. I don't care. My niece is everything. And so I won't book anything. Yeah. Like, that's where I want to be. Or versus like, I go to church twice a week. Nothing happens on Wednesdays for me after 5 because I have to drive down to Fullerton. I have to go to church. And same with Sundays, you know, Sundays, nothing happens before 1. Yeah. Like, just in case, you know, like, just in case everyone wants to go coffee after. Yeah. But like you said, I do think that they coexist. Mm-hmm. But I genuinely don't think that there's different seasons for it. Yeah, I just think they move in priority levels depending on the day and time.
Yeah. Your hustling might come in like different seasons, but like the intensity of it, you know? Yeah. Like this season, I might not be hustling as much, but I'm still hustling. Yeah. Oh, but I need to accomplish this by this time. Time to put it in gear. Yeah. So I feel like hustling comes in seasons, but hustling and healing, I feel like they got to coexist for us to keep afloat.
I agree.
Because I feel like if we don't have that healing in there, then we're just going to sink, you know? Yeah. And our mental health is going to... Because the hustling culture is very toxic. Mm-hmm. It's so glorified in California that...
Well, yeah, this is such an expensive state.
It's so expensive, but...
people, like, this was probably like $9.
Girl. Mine was $9. I said an extra scoop of matcha, not $150, $150. $1.50.
No, for real. Like, you step outside and you breathe, and California's like 25 cents.
25 cents. Oh, you want to go park on the curb next to a homeless man? $20.
Right. And then if you don't pay, you get a ticket, $93. And you're like, bro, I can't even.
Matter of fact, let me put that little boot thing on. You got to pay $400
just to get my car back. Oh, heck no.
But yeah.
Yeah, it is expensive. And I do think the hustle culture is toxic if you don't know your boundaries.
Yeah, and I feel like mental health has to do a lot with it. That we glorify hustling, and we don't glorify like mental health and things like that.
I agree.
So, and I feel like with men, it's the hustle culture is more toxic to them. I feel like if you notice, like a lot of the hustlers, like they go out a lot and they drink a lot. Yeah. Even if they don't go out a lot, they're drinking like straight liquor and things like that. Yeah. But I feel like it's because it's just so toxic, a toxic environment to them.
I will say this. I agree. Right. I think that the hustle culture is more dependent on the men. Mm-hmm. And I've said this time and time again. Like, I believe that society has put such hard pressure on men, especially in this day and time, where you got girls like, oh, you can't pay my rent. That sucks. You don't get my time. Yeah. Like, men feel like they have to provide to such a far extent that this is me showing men grace. Because I don't walk around and say that, like, all guys suck. I don't. I genuinely don't think so.
I know some really cool guys.
No, I really do. Some great high value quality men. But I do think that because this society has pushed them to make a certain dollar sign, that they forget everything else. You know, like,
you know what?
I've met quality men where I'm like, oh, you forgot that you still got to heal. Or like, oh, you forgot that like your feelings matter.
But you know what? You're so right. Yeah. And I see that in some women and like their choice of hustle, you know? And I don't want to really knock down anyone's hustle, but there's some sketchy hustles that women do, especially in LA.
Yeah.
Just because society tells them like without an education, you gotta hustle. But even them too, like some of the ones with education, they're doing some crazy stuff just for a band or just to hustle, you know?
And it's crazy to me because like, especially down here, I've noticed it a lot more down here. Coming from somebody who lived in the Bay Area where your core values are family and friends and the people you grew up with. And like, I feel like the Bay is very big on quality time and quality experiences.
Yeah.
Versus out here, it's like, what can you do for me?
Yep.
You know? And so I know you've seen me do it. You've seen me in my seasons of dating and being with specific people. And I give a lot of myself up because I've realized a lot of people aren't actually loved down here.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I met a guy and makes great money. Great money, handles his own stuff, you know, not one of these guys flexing bottle service and lives with their mom or like lives with a roommate. Like, he's handling all his own stuff, but he doesn't know what it's like to be loved or like knows what it's like to be cared for. Yeah. And I'm like, dang, you work so hard and no one appreciates you, but society says you need to take care of everybody else.
Exactly.
It blows my mind. And I show men grace for that.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly feel bad. I know a lot of guys who are like, they try to get my attention like, oh, do you want a Starbucks gift card? Or like, let me pay for your coffee today. And I'm like, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that.
Ask
like,
me how my day was.
Right.
You know?
Man. Like, what do you know about me?
Or something. Yeah.
Like,
something.
Like, the money's cool, but it's not. I feel like men think their value is in their like paycheck.
Yeah, because like honestly, obviously when I went to Vegas, I was posting some nice pictures.
Yeah.
And
you was looking cute.
You know how many men, like, not trying to brag or anything, they just felt like, oh, let me buy you something, let me send you something, let me do this to you, let me do that. I'm like, no, start a conversation with me. Like, why is that the first thing you say?
Dude, no, for real.
But again, that's just how society has like made it a norm that men need to hustle and men need to give us gifts in order to feel relevant or, you know, or be
like
relevant.
to even catch your attention.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
You know, like, you're not, especially for me, when you make enough money, cool. You know, like, just don't ask me for mine.
Yeah. Mine got somewhere else to go.
But at the same time, it's like, you want to buy somebody, like, I have guys ready to pay for anything, right? But when it comes down to it, all I want is flowers.
Yeah, I want, flowers. Yes,
flowers.
All you want is like, flowers.
All I want are flowers.
I know.
And I'm not talking about no, like, not the $1 million flowers, not the, like, Venus.
No, just
like no.
The
just
gesture of getting me some flowers.
Literally, Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
$10. Maybe get 2 so the bunch is bigger, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
I'm good.
But like, dude, we live in LA. Go to the flower district.
Yeah. Like,
you can get a ramo for like $35. I love ramos. Dude, you know what I'm saying? But you want to buy me a bracelet, or you want to buy me this and that, and you want to pay for this and that.
On Shein.
Like, I don't care for none of that, you know? But I think society has like made that so normal that, so like I told you, people have lost value in themselves because of money. So that's where I think the hustle culture is toxic.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's exactly why too.
100%.
Okay.
So in this season of your life, right? Just come back from Vegas, little baddie.
Oh.
But when you come home and you realize, like, you know, reality settling in, what is healing in this season for you?
Healing in this season for me would be, I need to slow down right now. You know, I gotta hustle. I mean, like, slow down mentally, emotionally. I feel like I'm moving too fast paced right now. And I noticed it. That's how I brought up the faith. Like, I skipped when I used to go to church twice a week too. Yeah. And now I'm going once. Yeah. Or I'm watching. Well, it's going to be online. I'll watch it online. Yeah. You know, and I'll pray about it. No, like, I'm not talking to God as much as I used to. And I feel like I need to get back into that and doing like my skincare routines or just like my self-care routines, you know, that I was doing.
Yeah.
And again, it has to do with being so fast-paced, where I'm like, okay, I don't got time for that right now. And it just becomes a continuous cycle. And I feel like I don't feel lost, but I feel like clouded, yeah. Like there's something missing. There's something not there.
Ooh,
I don't
God's
feel
calling
like
you, bro.
Yeah, God. Yeah, he is. He is, because I've been having paranormal experiences, okay?
Really?
Yes.
That's never happened to me before.
Yes, and I haven't been able to sleep. And it happened after I prayed to God. I was like, God, I'm not praying as much. Like,
are you still doing your devotions in the morning?
Yeah, I am. But I'll do them rushed.
Oh.
You know? And then what happened when I had my paranormal experience? Who did I turn to?
Right.
I turned to God himself, and then I started praying. And I was like, I know you're calling me back to you, you know? Or like I noticed like some cycles that I got out of, like they're trying to pull me back in. And I'm like, no, I prayed my way out of this one. So let me keep myself out. But healing right now looks for me, I just need to lock in my faith, you know? And it's a journey. God's still working on me.
Yeah.
He's still working on me.
Dude, God's working on me. Man.
But this faith, you know, it's a journey. No one's perfect. You know what my patient told me today?
What?
I was like, oh, I forgot we were supposed to, I told her we were going to paint. Mm-hmm. And she goes, it's okay. Everybody forgets things. Oh. Nobody's perfect. God didn't make us perfect. Oh. It's okay. God still loves you. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I want to cry because it was so cute. And like how I said, I've been like trying to get back in my groove. Like I'm still praying and everything, but I feel like God was talking to me through her. Yeah.
God will speak to you in ways that you can hear it.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like healing right now for me, I think it's just prioritizing myself.
Yeah.
Like I said a while ago, I have so many things going on and they're all great things. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when I add something that I was saying a while ago, like that isn't pouring into me, I accept it because I think it's what I want. And I think for me right now, healing is more so just being able to be grateful for what's in front of me.
Yeah.
Being more present. Like you said, slowing down. Mm-hmm. But I do think that like I do have an issue with being overwhelmed and being angry. So I think I'm learning patience still and learning how to be kinder with my words and more patient and just more present. I feel like I give the wrong people attention that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And in the end, it kind of like bites me in my ass, you know? And so I feel like that's my season of healing right now, for sure. Putting myself first and showing myself grace.
Yeah.
I'm for sure going through it was weird because that one episode we were talking about grace and I sat with myself and I was like, I think this is my season too. Mm-hmm. Like,
me too.
It's different. Like this time it's different because this time I'm walking with God a lot deeper.
Yeah.
But now I'm digging deeper.
Yeah.
And so now I'm getting deeper into like the things that I thought I healed from where I'm like, it's coming up again.
Yeah. But healing comes in layers, you know? Yeah.
It's never linear.
Layer, one layer gonna feel like, oh, this layer is good, I'm healed, and then it's gonna be another layer and it's gonna hurt more than the previous layer, you know?
Yeah.
Or the one before that.
Yeah, like I said, it's digging. Yeah. Like you're digging, but this time, you know, God has a shovel with you. And
how has your relationship with yourself changed as you learn to balance ambition and rest?
You know what? Weird thing to answer that is celebration.
Yeah.
I feel like I was always hustling and doing so many things and never got a celebration, never got to celebrate anything, never was like, hey, you did that, you know? But now it's kind of like in the beginning of the year, I went through this weird season where I went through a lot in the span of a week, you know? And after that, when I got the chance again to like see myself in the mirror, I was like, yeah, you made a mistake and yeah, you're going through this, but look at what else you've done, you know? And so I think that my relationship with myself is just confidence and pride in a healthy way that like, I really did that. Like, come on, I'm 5 foot tall and like, I moved myself from the Bay Area. You know, I do have, like, obviously with the strength of God and my family, but at the end of the day, I'm out here alone. You know, and I'm doing things that, like, I would have never thought I was gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like for me that has changed when it comes down to, like, my ambition and just resting, being able to celebrate.
Yeah, no.
I feel like
same thing. Like, now I feel like I give myself my flowers. You
know?
Like, Christina, you did this. I go treat myself, whether it's physically or even like mentally. But I feel like I do celebrate myself. And I also feel like with rest, I feel like that's also love. Like, it's like my self-love. And I'm very big on that. And I feel like allowing myself to rest has allowed me to do things for myself that I would have never done. So celebration and like self-love.
That's 100%. Dope, yeah. So who in your life do you feel like models the healthy balance between ambition and peace?
Who in my life? Are we allowed to say names?
Yeah, why not?
I want to say Izu.
I knew you were gonna say him. Izu. Shout out to Izu. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's honestly a big model in my life. I look up to him a lot into many different areas, like whether it's faith, family, friendships, business. Like, I always pick his brain and I'm always asking him questions just because his advice is just so valuable to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time I've taken his advice, it's always done me good.
Yeah.
It's never done me wrong. And I'm always bringing my friends to him because I want them to meet him. And I want them to experience, like, such a good role model and things like that.
Yeah, that's a godly man for sure. Yeah. You know, like, he hustles. His faith is strong.
Oh, yeah.
He means well, you know? So it's like, that's a great person to...
When I'm acting up or I'm not making the best decisions, he'll tell me, like, 100% like how it is.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that's love.
Without making me feel shitty.
Yeah, and that's what real friendship is, you know? Like, that's how me and you are.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, I feel like people fear that. And so at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, that's a great role model. Like, why not Izu? Izu's a great guy. I feel like in my life, in a sense, like my mom has always worked so hard. And that woman, literally, she's worked overnight all my life.
Yeah.
Right. And so she worked 11 to 7:30 in the morning, take us to school, work 10 to 2:30, pick us up from school, kick it with us, cook for us, whatever, you know, and then sleep for like 4 hours, do it again. But when it comes down to like her hustle, she did have a family, you know, like she had a family to work for. But when it came down to peace and like finding that harmony, like we were always on a family vacation. Yeah. You know, it was like, okay, yes, I'm going to work hard, but work has given me these 2 weeks or these days to take PTO or whatever it is. And so her balance of like working super hard, but also finding peace that's for sure a role model of mine. And I think that she's the reason why I work so hard, you know, coming from two parents who came from a different country, being a first-gen daughter, there's a lot of pressure on you to pave the way in a sense. Yeah. But my mom is such a huge role model in my life. 1,000%.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you personally define success now versus how you used to?
I was one of the toxic ones who thought money was success. 1,000%. And I'm going to be bluntly honest about that. Like, I used to think, oh, I want to make this amount of money this year.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be a 6-figure earner, whatever. Okay, cool. I've touched a lot of bread in my life. You know, I've touched a lot of money and I realized, then what?
Yep.
Then what? You know, so at the end of the day, success before was money.
Yeah.
Now, like, I'm not going to lie to you. I want love. Like, I want a family. I want one unit. I want, like, those are those are signs of success to me. If you can keep a family together in this day and age, you're successful. You're more wealthy than half the people I know.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like that's for sure my definition now versus before.
I agree with you 100%. Like making 6 figures, you know, and having bread,
right?
You know, having friends, all this stuff, having the nicest clothes, having YSL bags. I love YSL, by the way. But yeah, I felt like that was success. And then again, I had a void within myself, you know? Okay, I'm making money and I'm having all this, but I feel empty. Like, I don't feel successful. I might look successful. People might tell me I'm successful, but I don't feel it.
Yeah.
The only way I feel it is when I have my family, love, and God, like God's love too.
Yeah.
When I started filling my cup with that, that's when I was like, dang, I'm successful. Like, I have a good life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing the thing. Yeah. My friendships are good. My family's good. My faith is good. Like, I feel successful.
I agree.
But when I didn't have that, when I had all that money, I was like, ooh, I'm a boss.
Right.
And then I started feeling like, okay, like, this is not doing nothing for me. I look good. Like, okay, I'm getting likes, but I feel empty.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I think maturity is realizing you can be rich but not wealthy. Mm-hmm. And I feel like now that I'm mature, I 1,000% want wealth.
Yeah.
Like, that's wealth and love, wealth and faith, wealth and family. Wealth is health.
You can't.
Health is wealth.
You can't buy your health.
You can't. And I think that like people strive to be rich, but no one strives to be wealthy. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem with this day and age.
Yeah. I love that.
But I feel like a lot of people struggle with guilt. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, or struggle with guilt when they rest and like finding, you know, like we were saying, health.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like you still struggle with that though?
Yeah, I do.
What does it look like for you?
Me, I look like I'm depressed, or I negative self-talk a lot. Like, for example, we're not perfect or anything. So yeah, I'm preaching all this, but even this week of not working out because which is very rare for me.
No, for sure. Like when you told me that, I was like, huh?
Yeah, you're like, everyone's like, no way. My coworkers. And I was like, honestly, like, I need sleep. Like, I need to sleep and I need like to refuel my body.
Yeah.
But I was the first thing I did, I look bloated. I look fuller, but honestly, I'm probably a little bloated, but I don't really look any much different, you know? Yeah. But I negative self-talk myself a lot. And I don't do it as much, but before I would do it to a point where I would shut down and shut everybody out when I would rest.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, even if it was like resting of not taking gigs and things like that. Yeah. Like I would negative self-talk myself like, oh my gosh, Christina, you're such a bum. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. No, I mean, like.
And I would compare myself. Like, I would scroll on Instagram and I'd be like, this girl's doing this and this. What did I do this week? I just did my one of my jobs or 2 of my jobs, you know? And I'm like, and then, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, I go into hermit mode. Mm-hmm. And I feel like now it's just, I'm realizing, because I think I'm going through like this self-accountability thing right now where like I go into hermit mode and I kind of in a sense cut people off and I'm like, wait, you know, like that's not fair to them. Yeah. You know, like they love me. They're looking out for me. Mm-hmm. They're trying to check up on me. Like, why am I so angry?
Yeah.
But it's really just learning the boundary of like overstimulation. Like I'm like, hey, learning how to say that nicely. Like I'm kind of overstimulated. Can I talk to you in a little bit?
I need to learn that. I need to take some lessons from you because I snap.
Yeah.
I'm a snapper.
Yeah. Like, and honestly, yeah. And I feel like people just have an issue with like not reading the room.
Oh yeah, they don't. And I'm like, so, you can see that I'm overstimulated.
Yeah, literally, if you text me with like 1 to 3 words, I'm like, I'm text her later. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to her later. I'm like, I'm not even dealing with this right now because she's upset and I'm not about to fight with her. And I genuinely think that's why we work so well. Is we read the room well, and like we know how to talk to each other during those times of the day. You know, where like if it's too early and we're both tired, we can tell.
Yeah, or I'm rushing to work.
Yeah, and you're like
ADHD.
Literally, like when I was like, oh, check out these shorts. You know, I'm like, tell me whichever one when you have time.
I totally did not.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever. You know, I was busy too. I was like, it is what it is. But I think we know that both of us work so hard.
Yeah.
And we both also need time where we're not working.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're still friends.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
at the end of the day, we're still in each other's lives on a personal level.
Yeah. Because that's how we started at the end of the day. Okay. What does rest actually look like for you? Is it a nap? Is it setting your phone down? Is it saying no?
It's all of the above. I'm not really a napper, though. I will say that. I will nap sometimes, but I have such slow mornings that by the time I'm up and going, it's already like 4 p.m. Not okay, I'm not that lazy, but like...
That's not lazy. You're up late, okay?
I am, but
Give
like...
yourself grace, Asia.
But like, I wake up at 7 to 8 every day,
yeah,
right? And I'll pray, I'll make my coffee, I'll listen to worship, like whatever it is. And by the time I'm starting on my iPad, it's about 10:30, 11. And then I'll have lunch because I always forget to eat. And then I'll go to the gym. Okay, then I'm back. And now my gears are running by like 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So I don't really nap anymore. But I do think that I slow down with the people I love for sure. Like once I start making time again with my friends where I'm like, Christina, let's go have dinner.
Yeah.
That's my slowdown. Like that's where I'm like, I'm resting.
Yeah.
Because these are people that I will leave my iPad at home for. You know, I'll also put my phone on Do Not Disturb a lot. You know, I didn't used to do that. And I'm a light sleeper. So anytime I got a notification, I would wake up and I'm like, Jesus,
I'll call you.
Yeah, I know.
You'd post, are you taking a nap? And I would still call you. Be like, are you sleeping? To see it. You're like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, never mind. I'll call you back later.
But I will say, I'm not an angry waker. Like, if you woke me up, I'm not mad ever. Yeah. Like, I don't mind.
What time?
I don't mind. But what does it look like for you? Rest.
For me, oh my gosh, lately it's been sleep. I think it's because I work out a lot too.
Yeah.
And sleep, like it's been doing a lot on my mental health. And this week I've been sleeping. Setting my phone down, I try. I put on Do Not Disturb, but I have ADHD, so I do a lot of...
You check it anyways?
I check it anyways, and I'm scrolling. I don't watch TV or anything. I do not like watching TV. Or I read. I'll read my books because I want to stimulate my mind in a different way. I've started saying no, because before I was going to all events, and this year and last year, like I buy tickets to everything, and I bought the tickets, and I've been selling them.
Yeah, I've been seeing you. I'm like, oh, I wonder why she doesn't want to go.
Coach ticket, EDC, like all kinds of tickets, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Rest. It's literally, I'm prioritizing rest. Like I have an event on Friday that I was so excited for. I'm like, no, I just went to Vegas. Rest.
Yeah.
That's my no.
I seen you post that. I was like, oh, I wonder why she doesn't want to go. But then also, I'm honestly, right hand on Bible, when you posted that, I was like, good for her.
Yay.
I literally was. I was
Everyone
like,
else was like, why? Why aren't you going? We're all going. I'm like, no, I'm done. Girl. I need a rest. I was like, and then some guy had asked me too. He's like, are you going to go? And I was like, no, I literally said I want to rest and I want to spend my day in the gym.
Yeah. You know, like, because you just came back from Vegas.
Yeah.
And then that event's on Friday. And you posted that and I was like, good for her. Like, she needs to learn the balance of like, yes, you can go out with your friends and have fun. Of course you can. Yeah. But like, we are not the girls that do it back to back anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care who's headlining.
We didn't prioritize rest. That's why. And when I didn't do that, I noticed my mental health was in shambles.
Yeah.
Now everyone's like, oh, you look good. Girl, I'm resting more. I'm prioritizing like my health more, you know?
Yeah. So how do you decide what to say yes to and what to let go of for the sake of your peace?
This sounds selfish, but what's going to benefit me? What's going to pour into my cup?
Clock it.
If it's not going to benefit me or anything in the future or my energies, I'm going to say no. Because why am I going to be hustling and doing all this stuff and say yes to something that's not going to benefit me?
I agree.
You know, that sounds selfish, but honestly, I don't care.
Yeah.
I literally don't care because I've done that and I said yes and it didn't benefit me. If anything, it bit me in the butt. Yeah. And then there I'm like, oh, I wasted time and did this. And then there goes my mental health that I was working for. Or, you know, my happiness and my rest that I was working towards.
No, I agree. I feel like just finding what's worth it. Like we were just talking about how oh wow, I blanked. But just learning how to set your boundaries and being like, my time's valuable.
Yeah.
Is this worth it? I think that to me is being able to decide when to say yes and when to not. Like, even with both of us, like, even with dates, like, you kind of look at it and you're like, your lifestyle doesn't match mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it might look cool, but
it might look fun. You know, like, you might ask me to go to, like, Mastro's, or you might ask me to go to this nice restaurant, or
ask me to go camping. That looks very nice,
right? But then I'm like, in the long run, I'm like, dang, it doesn't click, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't match. And just learning to realize that and bite it at the butt, like, just no, I'm okay. Like, I rather sleep, I rather gym, I rather go to church, I rather this, you know, because
that's been my thing lately. I rather gym, or I rather go to church, you know. Okay. Have you ever felt guilty for resting or taking a break? And how do you navigate that?
I do feel guilty when I do nap and it's too long.
Oh, I'm like, oh, there you go again. You're a bum, Christina.
Literally. Oh my gosh. So the other day I worked at night. I worked at patio, and I didn't get out of bed till 11. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? And so I didn't start work till 2, and then I have to leave for church at 5 or 5:36, and so I had to get ready and this and that, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. I felt so bad. I felt so guilty, but I was like, even if I was working, I would be not doing quality work.
Yeah, you'd be grumpy.
Yeah,
like, I'm tired.
Literally, or I'd be at church like sleeping,
not paying attention.
Yeah,
and then I noticed with my ADHD, if I'm not well rested, I get a really bad brain fog. Like, I'll be talking to you and then I forget what I'm talking about, and it's kind of I get embarrassed by it, you know. So I know my naps are important.
Do you feel like your faith has played a role in finding that balance, like on just like hustling and not being so hard on yourself?
Oh yeah.
And, you know?
Because I've gone to sermons and I've read devotionals where it talks about like hustle culture and like how it's toxic, and that's why I do believe it's toxic. But God doesn't want us to stress, and God doesn't want us to live an unhappy life revolved around hustle. He wants us, you know, to live a happy life that you have, how we're talking about healing and what heals us, and mine is like love and family. Yeah, God wants that for us. Yeah. And I feel like growing stronger in my faith and like reading those things in those books like really helps me. Yeah, you know,
it's like a reminder, like, yeah, you know, someone is watching me, someone is like rooting for me.
Yeah. God rested.
Yeah,
he did.
100%. And I feel like, you know, for me, I've always said this since I was young. I've always said church is my hour to myself. Yeah. Because I've always, like we said, I've always worked super hard. And so I do feel like working on my faith has given me that hour to 2 hours to myself. You know, it slows me down. It keeps me at the right pace, especially, I kid you not, going twice a week. I've gone twice a week all my life. And so for me, it's normal because you start the week off with God. He slows you down. He puts you on the right pace, right? And then Monday happens. Okay, hustling. Tuesday happens. Hustling. Yeah. Wednesday happens. You hustle, and then you go back to church, and he's like, slow down a little bit. Yeah. You know, so it does keep me at the right pace. And I do think, like you were saying, you know, just knowing that someone's watching me and has my back, it just keeps me grounded. So I do think that he does help me find that balance.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a mantra, scripture, or affirmation you turn to when you're feeling stressed? Oh, stretched too thin.
I just pray. I don't think there's a specific quote. Other than like, I do live by the marathon continues. So it's like, you know, Hustle. It's Nipsey Hussle. Like it's not the finish line. It's every step you take in between. It's always been the journey. So I think just showing that grace has been what I live by.
Mine is this, just give it to God. Pray about it. I always tell, like,
let go, let God.
I know, let go and let God. But yeah, give it to God and just pray about it. Pray. If you gotta cry, you're crying as you're praying, you know. And I always tell people that. And That's the best advice I feel like I give, to be honest, because that runs deep.
I agree. Like, I don't know. It's just learning how to give yourself grace is huge.
Yeah.
So
I'm still doing that. We're still doing that.
100%. Every single day, every single hour, every single minute. Like, showing yourself grace is an everyday, every second thing. But if you were to look back and tell your younger self one thing about your hustle and healing, what would it be?
You can hustle, but still put yourself first. You know, you come first at the end of the day. If there's not you and you're not working, you're not running afloat, you know, running to your best abilities, then how are you hustling to your best abilities? How are you able to hustle if you're not okay up here and right here?
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta put those things first. And if you can't put it first, you gotta make them coexist.
Yeah. Learn your priorities. I think if I could tell my younger self something about hustling and healing, just remember it comes.
Yeah.
Everything that's for you will be for you.
Exactly.
When it's time. Like, I'm such a big person on divine timing. And like, I think a lot of us, especially growing up in California, we think success is overnight.
Yeah.
But if it's not yours yet, it's not, you're not going to have it. Yeah. You know? So I would tell her, like, slow down.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be fine.
Yep.
You know? And
life is a journey.
Life is a journey.
And the journey is never a stagnant line, or it's never going up. You're going to go up, down, left, right. You might get pulled back and then thrown forward, but it's a journey. But it's always going to work out in your favor. As long as you're doing good and working for him, you know, like.
I agree. I agree. What's one thing you're going to do intentionally for yourself this week that let's start that over. What's one thing you're going to intentionally do for yourself this week that feeds your soul instead of drains it?
I'm going to say no to going to Clooney. I love you, Clooney.
Period.
But I also did see something that also made me did not want to go. This is kind of off topic. But he had, his whole thing is called Hellbent. Ooh. And he had a billboard behind him talking about how they're all going to hell or something like that. So that was like, I was like, nope.
Ooh, that's a red flag.
Yeah. And he's such a
God was screaming at you.
Yeah. He's like, no, don't go there.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to gym, do my self-care. I want to deep clean my room. Ooh, and I want to read my Bible and watch sermons. And I want to watch sermons of pastors I look up to. Because I obviously, like, when you go to church, you watch your pastor and stuff. Yeah. But I do like to venture off and look at other churches and things like that. So I feel like I'm going to, because this week I don't have anything planned. Okay. I made sure of it. So I want to do that to reset myself.
I love that for you.
What about you?
This week, intentionally doing something for myself. I think I want to take myself on a date this week. I've realized that, like, the past couple of months, I prioritized somebody else over me. And I realized, like, when was the last time I took myself out on a date? Yeah. You know, I did it last week. I do want to do that this week, whether it's like going on a walk. Yeah. I've been wanting to watch the sunset, so I'm like, maybe I'll go do that. But I do want to do that. I've already been to church. But yeah, just treating myself in a way of, like, taking care of me in my solitude. I feel like I lost that for a little bit. So I'm going to circle back to that, slow down, and realize, like we just said, it's just a journey. And every step counts. I might as well be present and be where my feet are at. Yeah. And take myself out.
I love that. You need that. I feel like you need that. And I might show up after or something.
No, for real.
I might pick you up after your little date.
I was going to ask you if you want to go out to eat.
You know what? I was like, I don't have this weekend booked. Hey, Asia.
The Hookah Lounge is calling.
Yeah, exactly. Here's to taking care of ourselves.
Literally. No, but we should go on a date. I'd be down.
I'd be down.
I'm
always down for a date with you, girl.
I know. You're my favorite date. To close everything off, as we always do, what's one humble and honest truth you'd leave with our listeners right now?
Humble and honest truth. That it's okay to slow down. You're still going to be successful.
Yeah. One humble and honest truth I would leave today. Strive for wealth, not richness.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and honestly, rich is different to everybody. Like, I don't want a mansion. I don't want the latest this, that, and the third. Yeah. Like, strive for wealth. 1,000%. And know the difference.
Yeah. And put your health first too.
Health, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah. All of the above.
Without any of that, you're not wealthy.
At all.
Your bank account might look nice, but you're not taking that with you.
No, you're not. You cannot put the money in the grave.
Cannot. I mean,
Drake.
Yeah. Word to Drake. Did we just give a free promo? Just kidding.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.